Welcome to Dining for Women's Google Hangout for the month of April. I have two guests with me today. First, I have Catherine Hefner, who is our Web Content Manager. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
And I am delighted to have Dorothy Jacob, who is a board member for Hands in Outreach, who is speaking to us from Sydney, Australia. Hi, Dorothy. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Veena.
Hands in Outreach was founded in 1988 as a small educational scholarship program for poor inner-city girls in Kathmandu, Nepal. We are delighted to feature them for the month of April. And so, Dorothy, take it away. Tell us more about your program.
So thank you, Veena, and welcome everyone to the Hands in Outreach Google Hangout for the Be Part of Her Dream project. We're so excited to be running this pilot program and absolutely grateful to Dining for Women for the opportunity. Like Veena said, HIO's mission has been to provide educational possibilities for girls living in extreme poverty in Kathmandu who would otherwise have no access to education. Just like their mothers and their grandmothers, their future would be mapped out with low-paid menial jobs because of their illiteracy. The success of HIO has lain in building caring and lasting relationships with our families, our children, and the schools that our children attend. We very carefully monitor the long-term welfare of our HIO families, and this has provided us with two very unique outcomes. One is that we have a 98% retention rate for our students. And the second is that we've got very long-term, close and trusting relationships with the mothers of our HIO girls. HIO has two full-time staff on the ground, Ram and Palmo. Ram in the blue jacket and Palmo sitting down. In this photo, they're talking to Shamala, one of our HIO mothers. HIO could not succeed without these two people. In some ways, they act as the surrogate parents to our girls. On average, they visit each of our 125 families once every 3 weeks. Our parents, who are often usually single mothers, and our staff have a unique, strong and trusting relationship that has been built over time. It's a special model that allows us to know that Be Part of Her Dream will be successful. Our parents trust that, well, our mothers and fathers trust that we have their best intentions at heart, and we are with them every step of the way in their daughter's upbringing. The Be Part of Her Dream project is possible for us because of the model of social work we have. We know these families intimately, and our HIO mothers trust Ram and Palmo with their greatest problems: not enough food, domestic violence, and alcoholic husbands, a situation that's not at all unusual, unfortunately, in our girls' homes. I wanted to share with you just a couple of the stories of the mothers who will be attending our program of literacy and financial education over 2 years. For many of them, it's their first opportunity to go to school, their first opportunity to learn to even write their names. So most of our families are headed by single mums, like Namala on the right, who lives in a cowshed. She works on a construction site doing back-breaking menial labour for a tiny monthly wages of about $29. It's usually enough to pay some rent and buy some staple foods. This is a photo of Namala at her place of work. She works on a construction site in Kathmandu. Another of our women who will be attending the program is Bishu Maya. She now works at our Balkendra preschool, but prior to that, she washed clothes for other people. Throughout her whole life, her illiteracy has limited her options to low-paid and menial jobs. This photo is a photo of Sanisha on the far right. She is paid $6 a month to be a full-time sweeper at a school, keeping the grounds clean. Her daughter Manisha on the far left is an HIO girl who is now a teacher at our Balkendra kindergarten in Kathmandu. She is enrolled in a Master of Teaching and is one of the success stories of HIO. She now supports her sister and her mother. She's the sole full-time breadwinner for the family. And this is Kabita in her tea shop. Kabita is the mother of 3 children, one of whom was an orphan who she found in a field near her home, who she took in to be a part of her family. And this is a photo of some of the 50 mothers who will be attending the Be Part of Her Dream program. The project is the first of its kind in Nepal, and we're so excited to be testing this program. It will deliver direct cash transfers to 54 of our mothers in exchange for attending 3 classes a week for 2 years. The direct transfers are $20 a month, and it'll be divided into 2 components. $10 a month the mothers will save over a period of 2 years, giving them a savings nest egg for the first time in their life. The remainder of the $20 will provide them with the money that they'd lose working on an hourly wage. We've tried to run similar education classes in the past, but women aren't able to attend because they simply cannot afford to not go to work. So this program is an absolute enabler for education for these women. It will empower them, and we want to provide them with the steps out of a poverty trap for the first time in their lives. It will also give them the opportunity to be even better role models for their daughters. We'll work in collaboration with our mothers to deliver the types of topics and education that is most useful to their needs. As is our model with our HIO girls, we'll partner with our mothers for their education over the next 2 years, being with them every step of the way. In addition to the classes, each mother will be helped to attain their citizenship papers, and they'll also receive a thorough medical checkup and will have a bank account for the first time in their lives. We are so excited to pilot this project that will provide empowerment for our mothers for the first time in their lives. If successful, we'll look to repeat it with the other mothers in our program and possibly look to expand it further outside of our direct sphere of influence. We're so grateful to Dining for Women for this opportunity, and that was my presentation. Do you have any questions, Veena?
Dorothy, thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. I gather that Be Part of Her Dream is a play on the word Her Dream. I'm sure our members will be watching the DVD clip that they have at their chapter meetings as well as on the program page, in which the daughters speak so passionately about their dreams for their mothers. So it seems clear that you are helping the daughters achieve their dreams as much as the mothers do. So my first question to you is, can you tell us more about the background of these women? I know they are part of this tumultuous changes going on in South Asia where people are moving from rural areas to urban areas, and here they are now in Kathmandu. So who are these women, and where are they headed?
Thanks, Veena. Well, the reality of life in Nepal is that, well, particularly in Kathmandu, is that the city has been urbanizing very quickly. Since the Maoist insurgency ended, there has been peace and relative stability in government. So people from very, very poor villages all over the country are coming down to Kathmandu to look for work. Many of the women who are part of the Be Part of Her Dream project fit that profile. They've come from villages with the hope of finding work that often doesn't exist. Kathmandu is urbanising at a real rapid rate, but the economy is simply not growing at a rapid enough rate to sustain this urbanisation, and the infrastructure of Kathmandu is not adequate to deal with that influx. So the statistics for women are fairly dire in Nepal, full stop. Women on average earn 57% less wages than their male counterparts. 48% of women have experienced gender-based violence at least once in their lives. Their literacy rates are very low. About 45% of women can read and write in Nepal, as opposed to about 72% of men. And Nepal rates on the Gender Gap Index of the World Economic Forum at 122 out of 142 countries. So very patriarchal. Women are definitely second-rate citizens in Nepal, which makes empowerment and education so much harder for them to achieve. Just another snapshot of the day-to-day lives of our women, Veena. On average, working full-time, 6 days a week, in menial low-paid jobs will mean about a $30 monthly wages for our women. You did see one of our mums take home $6 a month, so it varies greatly. $29 a month is, I can't even do the maths of what that is on an hourly rate. All of our women work for hourly wages. It's just a few cents an hour. Most of them work as day labourers on construction sites, like you saw Nirmala, back-breaking, difficult physical work, hauling bricks, shoveling sand, regardless of the weather outside. Or they work as domestics, cooking, cleaning, washing for other households. I think I mentioned in my video they pay about $15 a month in rent, $10 a month for very basic staples like rice, lentils, and a few vegetables, and there's almost nothing left over for contingencies and savings. Being stuck in the poverty cycle of illiteracy means they simply don't have an opportunity to step outside of that in their whole entire lives.
You mentioned in your presentation about helping these mothers to get their citizenship papers. Could you elaborate what exactly that means?
Right, so these women aren't immigrants, they are citizens of Nepal. However, to very simply open a bank account or to have any official administration done, you need to show some identification. The most basic of that is your citizenship papers. A lot of these women simply don't have those papers in their hands. They need the consent of their husbands or a male in the family to attain their own citizenship papers. So part of our program, part of the empowerment that we're giving these women is to assist them to go and get those citizenship papers in their hands and give them the freedom to be able to open a bank account, give them the freedom to be able to take steps on their own in whatever capacity they need to in their future, without relying on their husbands or the males in their family.
Since Hands On Outreach has always worked with the young girls, and those have been primarily your beneficiaries, and now you're bringing the family in, you're bringing the mothers into the program, how exactly do you see mother and daughter leading each other along?
Well, I mean, as you can see from some of our videos and many of the photos that we have, there are very, very close bonds between mother and daughter. They absolutely adore each other. The mothers are so proud to be able to give the opportunity of education to their daughters, and the daughters are so excited to see their mothers have the opportunity to read and write for the first time in their lives. They'll work closely together. The daughter will act as a mentor to the mothers, helping them reach their goals of education for the first time in their lives.
Dorothy, it sounds absolutely wonderful. We at Dining for Women would like to wish Hands in Outreach all the very best and success in your program. We wish we could stay along and chat some more, but we have to wrap this up. So thank you so much for joining us from Sydney, Australia. Here is Greenville, South Carolina, saying bye-bye.
Thank you, Veena, and thank you, Catherine. We're absolutely delighted and so grateful for this grant. So thank you, everybody.